Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today we're talking about the feeling is the secret, easily explained. Okay, so if you've come across Neville Goddard's work, if you've read Feeling is the Secret and you're still a little bit confused by it, you want to know how it works, what is really being said in that book, then this video is for you. Okay, so basically the whole book, even it's a really quick read. You could probably read it within an hour. But the wording in it can be a little bit complicated. I think just because it's a product of its time. So it's a little bit like Think and Grow Rich in that way. Think and Grow Rich can be a little bit difficult to comprehend sometimes. So if you're not used to reading, books from that era, it can be quite confusing to read it for the first time and not really know what you've read. Okay. So let me give you a little explanation as to what that book is about. So you can read the book really quickly, but there is a wealth of knowledge in there. But basically, the whole point of the book is to help you reprogram your subconscious mind or start conditioning your subconscious mind. So there's a difference between reprogramming and conditioning. Reprogramming is basically where you go into your subconscious mind and you reprogram what's in there, so you start thinking and feeling and acting differently. Okay, whereas reconditioning or conditioning is where you sort of have to practice doing things over and over again until you start thinking and feeling and behaving differently. Okay, now it depends on who you are. It could be that you just read a message and then you just, you read a text, you read something, and you just instantly change, and that's now who you are. You're living as if the wish is fulfilled straight away. Okay, whereas if you're someone like me, you may need to hear something over and over and over again, or you may need to read something over and over and over again, and you may need to practice things over and over and over again until you've uprooted all of those bad habits that you no longer want, and you now have the new habits that you do want, so you're thinking and feeling in the way that you want the wish to be fulfilled. Okay, so the way that Neville Goddard describes this in the book is there are two ways that you can enter your subconscious mind, so you can reprogram it or start reconditioning it. Okay, so these are two things. Okay, so he talks about sleep and he talks about prayer. Now, sleep is those first few minutes before you fall asleep. And what you're doing before you fall asleep is you start to feel as if the wish has been fulfilled. So you think about whatever it is you want and try to conjure up those emotions and visualize it before you drop off to sleep. Okay, now the reason why you do it before you drop off to sleep is because when you enter into that state where your body is asleep but your mind is still awake and you're sort of quite drowsy, that is when your mind is more susceptible to messages. Okay, so you're in a theta state, and basically that is the doorway into the subconscious mind. When you enter like a really low brain waves, like theta state, for example, or alpha, you're more susceptible to messages, because most of the time we are in what is called beta. Like we're in like high range beta or mid range beta throughout our day, and that's when we're sort of like really alert to our surroundings. And that during that time, it's not a time to be creating. It's not a time to be imagining the things that we want to, because we're not in the gateway to our subconscious mind. So the best time to do it is when you're actually alone, when you have some quiet time, like when you're about to drop off to sleep, and you start thinking then about how it would feel to be the person that you want to be, how it would feel to have that wish fulfilled. Okay, now Neville Goddard also talks about prayer. Now prayer, what he means in this context is not that you're going somewhere like to a church and you're begging God for stuff. What he means by it is go to somewhere quiet. It could be even in a church, really, but you're going somewhere quiet, and instead of asking for what you want, you're relaxing, you're trying to lower those brainwaves. You're going into a meditative state, because basically what Neville Goddard is saying here about prayer, he's talking about meditation. So you just quiet your mind and you start to become really in the present moment. And when you can feel yourself, like when you can sense that a lot of your normal brain activity is slowing down, so you're not thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, you're not thinking about what that guy said to you on the bus, that argument you got into with your spouse, you're not thinking about anything. Basically, your brain is like completely blank. Okay, And that's when you can, again, your brain is more susceptible to messages because you've now entered a lower brainwave frequency. And so that's when you can start suggesting to your mind the things that you want. So you start, again, feeling as if the wish has been fulfilled. You're basically just imagining and getting really focused on it in your brain. Now, with meditation, a lot of you might be thinking, well, I've done meditation before. It's really difficult for me. I can't seem to get out of my own head. I'm always thinking about, other things. Well, the whole process of meditation is this. You're actually doing it right if you're thinking about something and then you realize you're thinking about something that isn't anything to do with the meditation, and then you bring yourself back into the present moment. Okay, that's the practice. That's the whole point of meditation, is to do is that process. Okay, because it's all about quieting your mind. And yes, your brain will go to other areas, but once you bring it back, that's a victory. Okay, so every time you bring your brain back and you bring your mind back to the present moment, you've actually won and started to overcome that analytical mind that's usually on run most of the day. Okay, so when you get yourself into the present moment and you've relaxed and you've got nothing else on your mind, that's when you can put something into your mind, such as the feeling of the wish fulfilled and thought and visualizing the things that you want. Okay, so those are the two ways that Neville Goddard speaks about it in The Feeling is the Secret. So the trick, though, the thing that is tricky, the thing that is a bit tedious is this, okay? Because you can sit for an hour and think about the wish fulfilled and feel really great, and you can even go to bed sleeping and before you go to sleep and feel and think that way, okay, and visualize the wish fulfilled. But the thing is that you got to be able to maintain that feeling throughout the day. You got to be able to maintain, you got to change who you are, basically. This has got to start to be a part of your personality. Okay, so you feel that the wish has been fulfilled throughout your entire day. Okay, but again, the trick here is that, of course, you're going to have moments in your life where you doubt yourself and you think poorly of other people, or you think poorly of yourself, and you don't feel good, and you don't feel like the wish is ever going to be fulfilled. So the aim then is not the manifestation, even though that may be your aim right now. The aim is just to get yourself to feel better and more good more of the time. Okay, because then you are genuinely living in the wish fulfilled. You're not living in the wish fulfilled because you hope and pray that that's going to bring something to you. You live in the wish fulfilled because it feels better to live that way. That's the end product. Okay, the end product of anything that you want to manifest, anything that you want to try and create in your life, is that you're going to feel better because of having it. So why not just feel good now and feel better now and feel those positive emotions now, despite your environment, despite what's in your bank account, despite who's in your bed next to you? Okay, so feel good now, just for the sake of feeling better, just for the sake of feeling good. Live in the wish fulfilled just because it feels better to live that way, instead of in this state of hoping and praying and begging that something's going to come. Just change who you are in that sense. Okay, so it's all about then living as if the wish has been fulfilled every day consistently. And then when you do and you finally let go and you're just like, damn, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna have a good time, I'm just gonna be happy, I'm just gonna live in the wish fulfilled despite my surroundings, I'm just gonna be happy. And it doesn't matter if my wish is fulfilled today, it doesn't matter if it's fulfilled next week, it doesn't matter if it's fulfilled in a year. It doesn't matter, because I'm just going to live from this place now, because it just feels better to live that way. It just feels better to feel nicer about myself. It just feels better to feel good. And if you've watched The Secret, the documentary by Rhonda Byrne, then at the end of the movie, she writes in the sand, feel good. That's it. That's the key. That's the secret. Feel good. Feel good now. Feel good now. Feel as if the wish has been fulfilled now, just simply because it feels better to live that way. And that's a better place to live from, because when you're feeling happier and you're feeling more inspired and you feel more good about life and you love life, then the actions that you're going to take are going to be more better. Okay, so you're going to bring better things to you because you're living from this new state of mind and this new state of being. The action that you take is going to be more effective than any other action you've taken before, because you're coming from this place of wholeness and feeling great and feeling better. Okay, so That's the feeling is the secret explained. I hope it's been helpful to you. Obviously, it's going to be tricky to change who you are, okay, from being someone who wasn't living in the wish fulfilled to living in the wish fulfilled. But I promise you that if you keep on using things like meditation or prayer, as Neville Goddard describes it, or sleep, then you will get there eventually, and this will become your new state of being. But you have to practice it. You have to keep your energy up and think of ways to keep your energy up. And, it's like what Abraham Hicks says, nothing is more important than I feel good. Okay, so think of those things that will genuinely make you feel good, genuinely make you feel better about yourself. Do some of those things. Think thoughts that feel good. It's like Peter Pan, think happy thoughts and then you'll fly. It's very, you see all these sort of like different synchronicities in movies and TV and stories and stuff. And it's so true. Right, so just think happy thoughts. Think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel that the wish has been fulfilled. And do it simply because it just feels better to live that way. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.